today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1 billion, 300 million, trillion market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we are going to talk about the crypto market. We are going to talk about Germany paper handing Bitcoin constantly in the market, but the market remains unfazed by the thousands of Bitcoin, by the billions of dollars flowing into the market. We are going to talk about Jerome Powell and listen to him, what he actually said, because what he said makes us even more confident that the market will turn around soon and will go on its most crazy bull run that we have seen in a long time. And yeah, crypto is gearing up for a massive move, and there are more indicators that are supporting this. And then also we are going to talk about Ecomi and Veve, and especially in that sense I want to talk about MCP and MCP mechanics today, but also about the upcoming drops and what is new around Ecomi and Veve. So make sure to stay tuned all the way. So, good morning, all of you. I see around a lot of people are already in the chat. We have to welcome still, because last time I unfortunately was not prepared, we have to welcome custom made here on this side of my of my video as the newest rare hodler of this family. Custom made. I hope you see this. I hope you're fine that I just took your profile picture, because we know that Dragon Ball at some point, hopefully, will be part of the Veve collectibles. But yeah, good profile picture. Welcome to the rare hodler fam. And everyone, please smash up the like button right now for custom made as a new rare hodler, and also in general for the stream, because you help the stream tremendously. Even if you watch it later, if it's not live, please smash up the like button. You help the stream so much. Let's get to a new all-time high also with the likes. If you are not subscribed yet, consider it for daily, almost daily. It's not really daily, but it's almost daily whenever I can get it done, streams, and then also with notifications on, so you know when I go live. And that said, let's look at the chat. Jonas is here and says, good morning, happy that the morning stream is back. Dude, I want to do a stream every day, at least one. I have enough content and enough to talk about for every day, but unfortunately sometimes live doesn't let you as you want. However, I will try my best. I will try my best to be around every time I can, and to make it even more often happen with videos, with video updates, and with live streams. So that is my promise, that I will try, that I will do my best. That is my promise to you guys. Let's trucking go. Yeah, let's go. Everyone who drives, please drive safe. You don't have to like. You're free from the obligation to like. Mark D says bananas. Yeah, absolutely. That's what it's called. G Money is here. Good morning. And what's the current current all-time high. The current all-time. What do you mean by that? What is the current all-time high? For Bitcoin, it's 73,815 is the highest wick that we had so far. Let's take a big sip of coffee and jump right into the topic. So let's look quickly at Bitcoin, and then we talk about Germany paper handing. Let's quickly refresh here, if it lets. Okay. It doesn't really let me. Yeah, it doesn't let me paint. It doesn't let me refresh. What is that? What is that? Come on. Yeah, okay, I understood, but it. Okay. I hope you're still there, because my browser did not really let me want to do this here. So now there we go. And all my lines are gone. Is that what it is? The magnet mode is okay. Anyways, let's look here at Bitcoin. I have no idea why my lines are all gone, but it is what it is. So we had this fallen channel here, and I think I can even highlight it without any lines, and just so you see this. Sorry, this falling channel, we've dropped out of it. Maybe we'll go back into it as we have seen it already to the upside. What is important is that you see you have these big moves down, and then a little correction like this, and a big move down, and a little correct. We could see another one down. Depending on what we are going to see today, we could have another one down. Today is decisive. Why? Because today we will get CPI data. And that means that we are going to either meet expectations, and then we will just continue the way we are. We are going to be better than expectations. That means we are likely to pump, or we don't see inflation coming down, and then we could see another drawdown here. Mainly these two drawdowns, they are driven by a narrative, and that is that Germany is selling their Bitcoin, and that Mt. Gox repayments have been happening. Plus, there is another one that you need to know about, and that is FTX repayments. And there is something interesting. So we have FTX, we have Mt. Gox, right? Mt. Gox, let's just call it MTGX, and then we have GER. So technically, all of them are selling, right? Just that FTX has already sold, and they are going to repay their users, their creditors, in cash, which means that and they will repay in cash from a time where it was court ordered or whatever, like where basically at the Bitcoin bottom. How convenient, right? So they will repay people that lost money in cash, and they will get some of the cash back. Now that cash, in comparison to the Bitcoin that people get here from Mt. Gox, that cash is going to go back into crypto and is actually a bullish factor. So the FTX repayment is going to be like a stimulus check during that sea crisis time. It is going to be free money, in very likely in USDT, that people can just quickly reallocate. So probably whenever this hits people's pocket, it's just flowing directly into crypto again to buy at least this dip and capitalize on it. So that's, in my opinion, that is what is very likely going to happen. Whereas Mt. Gox, and this is, by the way, this is 16 billion. So this is double of Mt. Gox, right? And then this is 8 billion. Total, but not all of this will get sold, and Germany has 1 billion left to sell, and they will sell. Germany will sell it all, and I will explain in a second why. So, but you see that even these two together, if are not close to what is going to come as stimulus from FTX, right? So that is what is going to happen soon with the market, despite all of that FUD. Or despite all of the good things also that are coming. So the market is really gearing up here. We have our first factor, FTX, is really gearing up for a move, right? So let's look on a little bit more. So Germany is paper handing, fat fingering Bitcoin into the market, right? at any price, at any time, and they are doing it on spot. So you see here, German government BKA. Actually, that's labeled wrong. I think it's not the BKA, it's the LKA, which means Landeskriminalamt, just for everyone who is German. And you see here, Germany has already sold 76% of its Bitcoin, and its holdings are down to 13,110 Bitcoin. So that means that there is not too much left. So this effect will go away in a short while. So it means, I mean, they sold this off in the last 2 weeks or so. So probably this week they could be already done. If they paper hand the last 700 million today and tomorrow, I mean, that would be massive. Like, it could lead to another little blip dump to the downside, but it's all getting bought up, right? So they dumped over the last days, they dumped 1 billion, and it didn't even face the market anymore. But now somewhere they are people are like, oh, there's rumors that Bitcoin was bought back by the German government. That's not true. These are very likely hot wallet transactions that are just failed sell orders in spot, and they come back to the hot wallet. And the reason why it's not true is Germany is not selling Bitcoin. It is one of the states, and that is the state Saxony, actually, that confiscated the 50,000 Bitcoin in a raid, so to say. And so Saxony is legally obliged to sell everything that they confiscated. If we were right now at the Bitcoin bottom at 15,000, and that would be the time, they would have to sell at the absolute bottom to everyone who wants to go in, right? So they have no choice but to go to zero with their Bitcoin balance. So you see here, has been holdings with standard practice for assets seized during criminal investigations, says the expert here. So it's not the German government, nor is it German government holdings, because the states in Germany are organized in a federation, but every state has their own parliament and has their own, so to say, police. I was going to say like conglomerate or whatever, right? But their own police organization that are then organized in a strategic way on a federal level. So, but every state has their own treasury, for example, right? They have their own finances, they have their own allocations and so on. And now these are seized in Saxony and they have to sell it off. So this is the reason why they're selling. There are a lot of theories and rumors around it, but this is the real reason. Okay, so Germany will paper hand the last 700 millions into the market, and then this sell pressure goes away. And then there's only the Mt. Gox people that received something that still want to sell, and this effect will not be enough. It will just not be enough. Why? Because look at the daily inflows only of the Blackrock ETF. While Germany or Saxony was paper handing or forced paper handing their Bitcoin, Blackrock is gearing up and is buying more and more. This is the most successful ETF in the entire history of mankind. $18 billion of inflows in only 6 months. That is a lot of zeros, and it's 312,556 Bitcoin. 300, so a third, or close to a third of a billion. Third of a million of Bitcoins has flown into Blackrock. And you can see here really that the remaining 12,000 or 13,000 Bitcoin of Germany really don't make any difference anymore. Blackrock will just buy it. Although inflows have been decreasing here a little bit, right? Inflows are not that high. These are numbers in Bitcoin. So the inflows in the last days were 3.3K and 2.1K in the last days. And then at some point, so what is happening? Sometimes we see here zero inflow, And there was one day with a bit of an outflow, but they have stopped that. So it seems that whenever people are selling shares, BlackRock actually has a mechanism to not sell the Bitcoin that is underlying. They'll just hold it somewhere. Maybe they move it to another wallet or so, but they will not sell it. Only here they sold 600 Bitcoin one time. So I feel that they know that it's better to keep that in reserve, and when people buy shares, just take this out of the reserve into that fund, which is the more strategic way, right? And then, so this is also why we are probably gearing up for a next big move. But let's look at more. And I have picked out this video here from Fed's Powell's testimony, and we should look at it together here. So let's listen to this. Only 1 minute or so, but let's listen together.
Fact is to judge whether interest rates can be raised. I must say I'm concerned a bit that we're not on a very faster track to decreasing interest rates from the Fed, and because of the better balance you cite. Could you comment on that, Mr. Chairman?
Sure. So the most recent labor market data do send, to your point, a pretty clear signal that labor market conditions have cooled considerably compared to where they were 2 years ago. This is no longer an overheated economy. This is an economy, as I mentioned in my opening remarks, that is more or less back by most measures to where it was before the pandemic. And that was a strong labor market, but it was not.
Okay, so this is enough already. Look at that. So the guy, I forgot his name, but asked him, he's concerned that rates will not come down. And the answer is, we are basically back to pre-pandemic levels, and the labor market softened significantly. This is not an overheated economy anymore. So it cannot get more bullish and more hinting to rate cuts than that. And I think this is, so we know that this is bullish for crypto. And I think that's exactly, so they are at a point exactly what they want to know. And CPI will put will mark that, will highlight that with a highlighter, big fat orange highlighter, if it is coming out lower, if CPI is coming out lower than before. Because you have to see, they don't decrease the rates to zero. They will decrease 25 basis points, and that will still put pressure on to the downside on inflation. But it will give the economy a little bit more room to breathe, because the companies can then get their credits a little bit cheaper than they could before. They can expand a little bit better every time there will be a decrease. So this is exactly what they're aiming for. Now, we know that inflation data that the government publishes and inflation, how it really is two completely different things. I mean, if you look at the standard basket for measuring inflation and you look at your reality, these are two completely different things. But just in terms of policy, this is what's happening, right? So the numbers that the Fed is basing their decision on, they are getting better, especially because a lot of people got laid off now, and companies are under pressure, especially in the tech sector and so on, despite Nvidia and the whole AI trend. So that they kind of have to act, and also they have to act because it's pre-election, right? So they still have to do something that the big boy old man can have a shot at winning the election, because we know that in the US there are very promising presidential candidates, especially one that we are not sure if he can. If he has ever led a country, to be honest. But enough with that. The Fed watch tool is, and here you can see the chances basically of how likely it is that the rates come down. And for next month, so for, actually that was for July, but yeah, for July, for this month, end of this month, the probability of a rate cut is 4.7%, so not even 5%. which means that the market does not expect that there will be a rate cut already now in the end of July. And then the next Fed meeting the next Fed meeting where there could be a rate cut is on the 18th of September. And there, if we go there is a 70% chance factored in. You see this here. This is the current state of rate, 525 to 550. 500 to 525 would mean a 25 basis point rate cut is factored in with 70%, and only 26% believed that the rates will stay the same, and there is even a 3.3% that we cut the rates by 50 basis points. And then for November, there is even a 30% chance that there's another rate cut. So what basically that means is the market, you see it here, the market expects that by November we will have come down with a 30% chance that we had 2% two rate cuts of 25 basis points each, and the market factors in with 51% that we will have at least one rate cut until November. So yeah, and then there's still 14, somehow there's still 15% believing that there will be no rate cut even in November, which this would be very bad for the risk assets if that was the case, but it would also not be the end of the world. So so let's see when there is a crypto summer coming up, but also this bullish, and it means gearing up, right? 20 days left to the next decision. It could be already then. It could be 5% chance, and maybe it increases after CPI. Today, so CPI today, maybe the chances will shift around. So we will look at this hopefully in the morning stream tomorrow, which I intend to do as well. But let's look at this. So while we are talking all of that, and technically you should be not fearful, the fear and greed index is at the same levels like January 2023, which was when we had our bear market bottom. And after that, we did a 300% rally basically out of Bitcoin, from 15,000 to roughly 73,000. And now we are touching the same levels, and you can see it takes a while until fear gets out of the market. But we already heard that the fear factors are going to be eliminated one by one, and that there is even stimulus coming from FTX, and that there are even maybe rate cuts on the table, and so on and so on and so on. So global liquidity going on, which means that probably after this bigger retracement, this is over soon. By the way, in my opinion, it is a stronger buying opportunity at the moment. You see this here, price is down a little bit. This looks like a correction should look like. There should be the next big run coming up. And the longer this correction takes, the bigger this run will be. And I think with regards to these indexes, we are gearing up for a massive move out of crypto. It's not the time to be fearful, although everyone is fearful. But for you guys, for the rare hodlers, for the crypto guys, it is time. Without giving financial advice, you know how it is, but for me, it is time to just buy a little bit more, unless because these are the opportunities, like the 27% dips are the opportunities to go higher. So I think that is really crazy. And then also this one here, this one is not many people talking about this, but I think it's very valid. So when there was this super mega death cross talk. This is a lagging indicator, by the way, right? But there was the super mega death cross talk when the 100 and 200 MA crossed for the first time in Bitcoin's history. They almost crossed in 2017, but then there was this talk, and the opposite happened. Now we have the first bullish cross of the MA 100 and 200 in the entire Bitcoin history, which is, because of a lagging indicator, of probably a sign of this run. But nonetheless, we will see, because we never had this, we will see what happens if we get this bullish cross. And independently of the cross, look at what happens when these bands are tightening. You have this dip here, right? These bands are tightening, almost crossing, and then they were widening, And you look at what happened. Like, we had this massive run. We have this and there is really so many good arguments that we are mimicking this mega run of 2016 to 2017, almost 2018, that we mimic this time. And I want to quickly discuss this because we are already talking about global liquidity and about Fed policy. The longer this takes now with the Fed, the more likely it is that our run looks like this, and that our run from the halving takes its time and slowly moves up, right? So like we have it here, like takes its time, curves out, slowly moves up. It will be painful and boring, but it would be all so good for us throughout end of 2024, 2025. And it will. So why is that? Because in this run, we had this crash here, like the C crisis, and then we had, because this happened, we had the Fed step in, and they had to lower rate cuts they had to bring rate cuts on a very fast basis, and then they had to inject money into the market on a very fast basis, way faster than they will do it probably this time, unless there is a black swan happening again, which we cannot predict. But they had to do it so fast. They also had to stop it fast with very fast rate hikes to tame inflation before it gets out of hand, which is why we didn't get a blow off top. Instead, we got this, like we kind of put a cap on it, right, from monetary policy, and this happened, right? So it was like undecided money. Here the stimulus money was flowing into Bitcoin, but then suddenly the party was over. Way too soon, way too early, way more early than it was expected, right? I think from what I'm seeing right now, this time the party is starting. The global liquidity is curving up, but it is going to be on a way slower basis, and it's not going to be rushed and I really like this term. The money is not going to be fat fingered in with helicopter money and so on. It's going to be more subtle, but this massive liquidity is going to flow into the market. It just takes more time, which is why I think that we could be poised for a run like this. We will see. I mean, it will rhyme. It will not be exactly like that, but yeah, let's see how this plays out. And by the way, it is about to make this first bullish cross. This bullish cross has not happened yet. When it happens, we will see if there is an effect on the market. Overall, guys, this is not the time to be fearful if you zoom out. And this is also not the time to talk about time frames being different or whatnot, because that's just not the case. You take the top, you go all the way 800 days, and you find yourself always at the same time. You find yourself either in the middle of a correction, like it is here, or in somewhere on a sideways move of not much happening after the halving, right? So you have this 800 days. Unless, so this time is different, we could say, but it really isn't until now. It just looks, if you zoom enough in, everything is different all the time, right? But if you zoom out, it's not really different. Look at that, for example, here, 800 days after this is where we are right now. We were in the C crisis crash, and everyone thought that the market is over. And then they came back with rate cuts and stimuli and pumped the market to a gazillion trillion, you know, right? Everything that you heard from Powell right now points in the same direction. They have to inject money into the market right now. Otherwise, they will cripple the economy. They will not let this happen. Instead, they will lower the rates. They will pump money into. They are already pumping money into the market globally. Rate cuts have already happened in Canada, have already happened in Switzerland, have already happened in the EU. Money injection already happened in China, so it's only all eyes on US. And once the US does this, the others will be more confident with their monetary policy to go in the same way. Warros King says, good luck on the drop tonight, PH. Yes, we are going to talk about this in a second. One more thing to underline the theory, last metric here before we go into the Ecomi and Veve stuff. You see the RSI here, right? And look at the 2016-17 cycle that I just showed you here. So the RSI just makes the same pattern here again, right? Also here on a small basis, but it's really right. So what we're doing right now in terms of RSI looks like 2016-17 on steroids. Look at that. This just on a big on a bigger scale is what we're forming. This, and it's really minuscule on this run. So, but in every run, no matter how you want to see it, you have this move up, correction, move up, correction, move up, here, move up, correction, right? In the RSI. And we are at this now, and we have exceeded these levels. All of these levels we have exceeded a little bit in the RSI. But now the correction is also deeper, which is good, right? We are back exactly, we're almost back exactly to the RSI where we were in this cycle, right? So everything looks like we are gearing up for a massive move out of crypto. But when I say this, please don't come tomorrow and like, what? Patient hodler, you said? Yeah. It will not be tomorrow. Yeah. It will not be tomorrow. Now is the time to ape degen into stuff. Okay, let's talk about Veve, and we have some drops lined up here for Veve, and there are some interesting things to talk about. So we had the flower bomber, and I think that was pretty successful, right? Because everything sold out, or of the flower bomber. We had the Hulk 180 drop. That sold out, 5,000 editions at 10 gems. That's a 50,000 gross. Not too shabby for Veve. And also the price point is really holding up quite good on the market. We have the Ultraman, didn't sell out. I think the price point was too high. I think the Ultraman should have been at 10 as well, then it would have sold out. But also, I think, I'm not sure if it's sold out right now, but when I looked yesterday, there were 1,000 left. But this is the first manga on Veve, so not to, maybe I just buy a common or so on the market of those, because they are going for like under 5, so I can get it at 30% of the drop price. But today really is the day for the Grail comic, right? Today is the 181 Hulk, 181, which is the Grail, and it's a 10,000 run, which, like all the other Grail comics, or most other Grail comics of the later releases, and it's at 20 gems. So what I did is I didn't participate in Ultraman, I didn't participate in this one, but I'm going to participate in the 181, because I was really, when I looked at the numbers, I wasn't really confident about these two drops, but I'm definitely confident about this one. So I'm really going for it. I'm not sure if it. I'm pretty sure it will sell out. It's 10,000 at 20, but it's a Grail. I mean, there will be people trying to get the secret rare, and it makes sense, right? Even if you if you ape 10 times, if you press the button 10 times, you'll spend 200 gems. But this secret rare is probably going at 500 or so. Yeah, I don't know. People will gamble in any ways. And then on the 12th, there's actually something that many people fail to really realize. We are going to have the Little Mermaid drop, and that is like some shitty coral also, right? You could say, but that is actually the first time that an accessory, for like a real accessory, it's not the first time that it's an accessory, because we had the car platform, but I mean that's a real accessory to extend something, this landscape, right? There's the coral, you can put this coral on the landscape, and probably, I don't know if it activates something, but I could imagine that this is happening. And yeah, so this is an accessory drop. It's not the first time, but you see that accessories are coming. Now, what I would like to see, and we have to check this out quickly, because I'm not sure, is if this is an MCP purchase or not. Because I would really like to see this being for MCP and not for gems. But yeah, so it's at 0. So it's at 0 gems. I don't know if it's a craft or what. Let me see. I don't know if you guys already know, but Little Mermaid accessory crafting event in blind box format. So let's see what you have to do. Accessories from this collection can be added to your Disney Mermaid diorama. Okay, that's fine. So first, public available is 41. That is good. 90 editions withheld. That is fine. I mean, probably there will be giveaways or so at some point. Okay, and you can get different ones. But what is the mode of this? Let's see. So, okay, so there's a lot of these corals, and probably that's a test, right? I mean, there will be cooler accessories. How many are there? That's crazy. But we know that people will go for everything. There are many of these. So, these are perfect for adding a splash of oceanic wonder to your collection. Rocks, blah blah. Okay, so that also crafting details. There we go. To be eligible to craft, you will need the Disney diorama to craft the accessories. Users are eligible to craft one of each of the accessories per diorama while stock lasts. First in, first served, and only store purchased dioramas are eligible. So okay, so you have to buy it from the store. So okay, but there's no MCP involved, and that is exactly what I would like to see. That additionally to you having the diorama, you have to you should have to use like even if it's only 1,000 MCP. So what you get on a daily basis if you have a collection like mine or so, it's like sub 1,000. So you need actually 1 day to generate for each coral also the MCPs. But that would be really great. And yeah, I want to really go a little bit into the stuff with MCP because it's super interesting, right? So let's go on our OMI chart, because since OMI is not doing anything, we are using the OMI chart as our drawing board, so to say, for yeah. So for where my notes are gone. So something like it's trolling me. I think that it's the others chart. That's why. Let me see. Ecomi. It switched the chart. Let's go for the Ecomi. Oh, there we go. Okay. So Ecomi is continuing to head lower, and by the way, this was expected, right? So we fell out of this, we bounced here, so we are probably going to go back to the lows. If you want to accumulate more Ecomi, that would be that. But let's go on a bigger scale and talk a little bit more about MCP. So I think many people don't really think about MCP, which is why probably I'm going to make a video about this as well. But you have a collectible, right? So how can I do this? How can I make a symbol for a collectible? So you have a collectible, like whatever, like a statue, yeah, something like this, right? That's our collectible. Impressive drawing skills here. So that's our collectible. So a collectible has two values, right? It has the intrinsic value of the brand, and it also can generate MCP. It will generate MCP, by the way. If you're buying the collectible and holding it, you get the MCP. So basically, locking away the collectible generates MCP. Okay, so that means that MCP is inflationary, because out of just holding something, you can generate MCP. But there's only so much of it, and that gets diluted. The MCP generator gets diluted because there are new drops and new collectibles all the time. So MCP goes up, right, all the time. Like the global MCP supply is going up. It's like fiat money, basically. It's going to be generated out of thin air. And then you can also have OMI, and also for OMI is like locked up, and you can generate MCP. Now the problem is, and MCP will go up, like inflationary, okay? But the problem is that if you have these collectibles, you don't need OMI. Unless these collectibles are too expensive to generate more MCP, or for you to get MCP, and then you have to go for the drops, and the drops sell out. So we can already see what the plan is here for Veve, right? So at some point, people will have to need more MCP. So what makes people burn? Let's put it this way. Like, what makes this get burned, right? How do we burn MCP? Like, we burn MCP with stuff like where's the flower bomb here, with this flower bomber drop, for example. This Banksy drop, 250,000 MCP or 1 million MCP gone per purchase, right? And that is like an average. Let's say I'm an average user. I have 700 collectibles and I generate 850 MCP a day. So for me, a 250k MCP allocation I would, just for math's sake, I would more or less need 300 days to regenerate my MCP. 300 days, I don't know, energy, maybe draw the flower bomber. Okay, wait a second, this is very easy for me. Draw the flower bomber. Okay, that is easy, look at that. Look at that. Oops, that was not there. A second. Okay, there we go. That is easy. I'm going to draw the flower bomber. There you go. Impressive, right? Oh my god. And another flower. Okay, but anyways, enough with the shenanigans. So this, the flower bomber, if you hold it, it also generates MCP, right? But so people burned 1 million MCP on the flower bomber. And by the way, energy, let me quickly know, it's like you're a whale. So energy is a whale. How many daily MCP points do you generate? Like 5,000 or so? So for energy to accumulate 100,000 MCP points, he needs 20 days if he has 5,000 MCP generation per day. So he needs 40 to 50 days to be able to craft the ultra rare, and he needs 200 days or so to be able to craft the epic one, right? 8.5k. Okay, so he needs a little bit less than that, but I made it with 5k anyways. So that means energy, obviously, if there are more drops like this coming out, and he doesn't, like, the cooldown on the MCP doesn't go away, then he needs to buy more of the generating factors, right? The MCP generators. He either needs to buy more collectibles and complete sets, or he needs to buy more OMI and put it in the app, but that is kept at 10 million, right? So in total, that means for Veve to re-stimulate the market, to reactivate the market, and to push collectible prices higher, they need to put in more MCP burning components, and that on desirable stuff. So they have to put out a variant in the drops with a high MCP value that everyone wants, so that people are burning through their MCPs, but they have to load up, because there are always people like me who don't spend their MCP on the flower bomber because they are speculating on there is another drop where then my chances are higher because I don't have to wait. For me, it would be 250, 300 days to wait. And I'm buying some collectibles because of that. I need more MCP, right? So they also should have, like, in every crafting, they should have a component of lower MCP where you have to use MCP for crafting, so that this goes high. And then so that means that if people, at some point, people see, okay, every collectible is expensive now because the drops are scarce, I have to buy some OMI to supply this MCP outflow. So as long as MCP inflation is high, no one cares. But the moment that MCP gets scarce, OMI is necessary to get this MCP, because OMI also generates, when you hold it, they also generate tickets, right? Here, tickets. And these tickets can be converted into MCP, but no one would do that at the moment because you don't need the MCP. But if it gets burned, like we said, you will need it. You will need to do that. And this is how Ecomi will get utility if they execute in this way. Besides all that OMI to NFT and OMI in exchanges and OMI burns and catering to Web3, this is how they can do that. Now we will have to see how they will implement it, because we only saw one drop, and the picture will become clearer with the next drop. So what we already saw is that for some drops you can put up MCP to get a higher allocation, and that is still the case. So for today, there will be people burning MCP on today's Grail drop, right? On today's comic drop. So yeah, Energy says working on it. Next target is 10K, and there we really see Energy is way ahead. Like, he generates 10 times more already, 10 times more MCP than I do. So he is able to recover on a 10 times faster pace than I am. Now, does that mean that that now I can stop buying and go out of the app because Energy is so much more ahead? No, not at all. So you have the whole drop here, right? So this is the drop, and then you have the drop allocation, for example, to MCP people. So that means Energy gets very likely, if he wants, he can always get the part in this drop allocation, and then there is a bigger part for the masses of the drop, and then there's something withheld and whatever, right? But if this for example is 3,000, this upper part, Energy is only 1. He only gets 1. He doesn't get all the 3,000. So that means that even I, with my MCP points, if I put them in, I can get also one of them. I just need to be in the top 3,000 to get something, right? And then the other 7,000 editions or so of such a 10,000 comic drop gets allocated to the masses, but I also get a guaranteed slot. I don't have to have the same MCP generation to get a slot. I just have to generate more than number 3001 to stay ahead, right? Yeah, OMI to bronze ticket, and then bronze ticket to MCP, if MCP is really, really valuable, right? But that is basically it, what I have on my mind, and probably I'm going to put this out as a video, because most of people, they don't want to watch a whole live stream to get good information, or they can't because they don't have the time. But I think this is the concept behind what Veve is building. And these other factors like OMI to NFT, they will play another role in this. But like, for example, that you can buy this collectible with OMI out of the OMI stack, and then some OMI gets burned, and then you have less OMI, you have to buy from the market, then you have to buy from the market and refill your OMI because you did send OMI to a burn wallet, right? Because you purchased a collectible. It's getting complicated, but if this machine really rolls and people start understanding this machine and it's really there, then Ecomi could do very, very well in the market. Yeah. So all that is necessary is for that desirable drops that you have to they could also do, you have to pay gems and MCP to get this, right? To finance it. Doesn't have to be always only MCP only, right? Could be also, yeah, you have a smaller gem amount but a big MCP amount. Or you could do a mix, like if you don't want to spend MCP at 60 gems, or you spend MCP and 30 gems and you can get it, right? Stuff like that. Quickly, on another note now, in other news, so to say, in other news, sorry for the chat here, by the way. In other news, David Yu will be at Taipei Nanjing Center, Exhibition Center, Tinex 2. I have no idea what that is, like ABS. It seems to be a convention, but he's going to be there. And then Veve fans asks, does this mean we will not be seeing you at Disney D20? He missed the U joke with the YU. D23 in Anaheim, and also CA on August 9 to 11 in California. And then David Yu answers, I will be at SDCC, ABS, and D23 working as hard as Taylor Swift. Is he teasing something here? Because, I mean, how the heck? Why would he do that, right? Why would he do that? Why would he post that? This seems like he's teasing something here with the Taylor Swift. Let's see the response here. Yeah, that is very accurate. That's a people have too much time on their hand. This is, by the way, this is disturbing, but it's also funny. This is very disturbing. Anyway, that is Swift you. You Swift, David Taylor you. Yeah. In fact, will you work as hard as Taylor Swift delivering OMI utility and user growth? Hopefully. At first glance, I thought he went to the other side. Okay. What the fuck? Okay, I thought that hello from the other side is Adele, but anyways. So ABS, what is ABS? Let's check this out. So it's let's see if we find something. ABS Taipei. Oh, so that is Asia Blockchain Summit. That is interesting, right? Okay, so let's look at this quickly. What David Yu is going for here. Oh, okay, so David Yu will be at ABS, Asia Blockchain Summit. And we see here already, we have some prominent faces there also, Vitalik. Maybe he can tell Vitalik to make an account on Veve and buy some Veve NFTs. There will be 15,000 attendees, 500 plus companies, 350 speakers. I hope that David Yu gets a speaker slot. That would be cool. 100 plus investors, 65 countries. That is good. Asia Blockchain Summit. Let's see if there's anything that implies that he is having something there. So Vitalik, Audrey Tang. So see more. Let's see who, if we have any other prominent face. Oh yeah, look at this here. Hey, look at that. There he is. There is the David. There is the you. Always now when I see this like you, are you, I have to think about the Rush Hour scene, like who are you? You is me. I don't know. Let me know in the chat if you know this Rush Hour scene. It's like, you is blind. I'm not blind. You are blind. That's what I just said. Anyways, yeah, co-founder and CEO of Veve here. What do we have here? President of the Solana Foundation, Trondau, Project Liberty. Is this attendees or speaker slot? Is this speakers? Prosper in Plural World, introducing the first lineup of ABS speakers. So David Yu will speak, and all of these other guys will speak as well. Jupiter Cat Meow. Okay, not even a picture. On-chain Capital. Let's see who else is here. That is very interesting, right? I mean, that is also very good because these events are good to network and to get Panoni, PA News, yeah, Today DeFi, ABCDE, ApeCoin, apes are going to be there, so that is good. Yeah, he's that is an old photo that with the Ecomi shirt. That is an old photo that you can just get from Google. Probably they just Googled him and put this photo up. This photo is from like 2018 or so. So yeah, that doesn't mean anything. But what does mean anything is that he is on the Asia Blockchain Summit, right? I mean, that is good. And we don't know if he will speak about only Veve or if he will speak something about Ecomi, or maybe we don't know. But it's good that he's going there, and he will be at D23 as well, and so on. So very cool stuff here. What else is there for the VVs? Not much more. We'll have this drop today. I wish you all the best of luck, everyone, for the drop. Yeah, so that is basically it, guys. Make sure to smash up the like button right now, please. For the stream, so you support the stream tremendously. It doesn't cost you anything, so please smash up the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I hope you liked the insights of today with notifications on. Make sure to stay tuned for more Crypto Morning Coffee, more streams, more videos, and wherever you are on the world, have this great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon, and I catch you in the next one. Have a good